SlightlyBitCurious, back with a third member, the threesome.
Welcome to Markies.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, mate. You
Good,
alright?
mate, all good.
Yeah, all good. You seen on the intro thing? Have you seen that Martini guy's new intro?
No, I haven't seen his new one.
Yeah, check it out. It's jokes.
Oh, I'll
Have a
have to
look
watch
at
it. I love his intros.
Yeah, it's just about the moon and spinning heads and everything. It's funny, but it's worth a watch. But yeah, something like that could be good.
Yeah,
Take it to...
probably worth investing.
Yeah.
I really like that. I'm not even joking.
What, the intro?
Yeah, yours in the group.
Oh, what I sent you earlier. Yeah, we'll put it up. Maybe put it into here, the little intro to the video. We'll all have one each.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome Markies.
Cheers. Yeah. So if I let's start from the top. If I start with my little story. So yeah, lockdown come, and I was just like, I'm gonna actually get some stuff done. I wanted to make the most of the opportunity. I was like, I'll just get to the weekend, get to Friday night. I'm normally running around somewhere screaming Markies, end up in a gutter, have a 5-day hangover, get back to the weekend, do it all again, and don't really achieve anything. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I wanted to start a business, property business for ages. So I started that, and then I was listening to loads of podcasts, and it kind of got me onto like a 5 a.m. club, which is like a little networking group. And then the guy was talking about crypto. So I was like, okay. I was going up to Huddersfield to see one of my mates and look at some properties and have a little catch up and stuff. And on the way, I listened to the crypto book on Audible. And I was like, I remember like the last 20 minutes of it, I nearly ended up in the Central Reservation because I was like, what the fuck? Like, how do people not know about it? Like, trying to ring anyone I could, going, hold up, is this some sort of like secret? Why has no one jumped all over this? Like, obviously realized there was quite a big community after I started digging into it. But like at the end of the book, he starts talking about AI and blockchain technology, and I was just like, whoa, like yeah, it just blew my mind. So I was like, I need to get in, and then I'll learn later, which I don't know whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. Well, I look back now, I'll say it was a good thing. So I kind of jumped in. Bitcoin was at $9,000 at the time. So I jumped in and then got some Ethereum. And then he was doing a talk on that 5 a.m. club. And I was like, I'll be honest, I pretty much just copied his portfolio. So I was like, I don't really know enough. Like, he's a smarter guy than me. So I'll kind of jump in and learn later. And I'll just see it go up. So.
Sorry, can I just ask you there? Don't say the
amounts. Go on.
Don't ever say the amounts, but like, did you put much in to start with, or did you sort of go in conservatively, or?
So I had a figure that I was going to put into the property business, and in the end I put in like 70% into the property business and put in like 30% into crypto. It wasn't initially meant to be that way, but I could just see, I thought the more I understood the cycles and stuff, I thought, well, during this bull run I could potentially, whatever I've put in, I can easily replenish that and some, if you know what I mean, as I started to understand it. So yeah, done a bit of mentorship with the crypto circle, which like that they've done like a blueprint and stuff just to help you understand it, and some charting. And yeah, just been picking it up as I go along, really. Don't pretend to be any kind of expert, but it's pretty much me now. I just spend hours on it, and it's not like I'm pushing myself. Like with a lot of the property stuff, I was like, I'm learning it because I need to learn it. And it's kind of where I did find interest in it, but with this, it's like, you know, like I've never been big on EastEnders and that now, but my TV of an evening will be some sort of crypto related, like, yeah, just full on gig now. So, but it's been good, to be honest. So yeah, grown that, and then just started watching like Raoul Pal, who looks like massively into like the economics, so like macroeconomics, and something I would have just switched off about a year ago. But yeah, just been looking into all that, and then so I see, like, I don't know if you've looked much into the models. So in the crypto circle, they look at like the stock to flow, which is by Plan B, which is a Dutch investor. Like, you probably both come across it, but when I see that, it's pretty much followed that path Bitcoin, and that sees well, I've made a note, like by the 12th of May 2025, that sees Bitcoin at 974.
Man.
So like $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, if like Ethereum remains pegged at Bitcoin to like say a 9010, you're seeing a 97 grand Ethereum then. So yeah, I think the more you look into it, the more you kind of realize. I've listened to a lot of counter arguments, because I think you can easily have like confirmation bias with it, and you can just convince yourself that your view is right, which you can do with anything. But I've listened to the counter arguments, and I just don't think there is much of one anymore. I really don't. I know you've got a few things like quantum computing and a few issues, but I think, I think there'll be tokens that sort of block any danger of that. And I think short of shutting down the internet now, I can't really see how you can stop Bitcoin. And all these billionaires are changing their opinion and they're buying it. So
there's that's 3.0 coming out, right? So it's like, like shutting down the internet. It's not going away. It's only going to get better accommodating crypto, in my opinion. I don't know what you think.
It's going to be huge, mate. It's going to be like, I think, bigger than people ever imagine. Like seriously, I think it's bigger than the internet, to be honest.
Did you see the like Bitcoin got banned in Nigeria and it's like trading at 30% over the price?
Yeah, it'll just all that stuff's good.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? But the one reservation I think that's wicked that you've seen the other argument. One thing I think for short term is like if Bitcoin, someone like the SEC like sue Bitcoin or something stupid like that in the short term, like I think, and that could kind of wreck cryptos. I'm probably wrong, yeah. I'm probably completely wrong. I don't think
you can't sue Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, like file some sort of like something against it, like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, they've cleared that on Ethereum, haven't they? The SEC. I think they've already cleared that. So
I'm not saying that's a possibility at all. That like I'm just keeping myself grounded by saying.
No, I know what you mean. It's
a highly unlikely chance, but I like that you saw the other side, kind of thing, as well.
Yeah, it's good to listen to that. It's definitely good to listen to that, because I'll jump on a few, like, I don't know if you've used Clubhouse yet, but I'll jump on a few of them when you've got like these gold maximalists and people from other opinions, which is like, at the end of the day, it's not like my view's right and that's it. But I'm just listening to the counter arguments, and I just think the pros far outweigh the cons. And I don't know. The only thing I'm sort of in two minds about is the way this cycle plays out versus the last one, because part of me says like there will be an end, like things don't go up forever, but will the correction be as big? Will it be different? Because it's got real world utility now. Like in the last bull run, these weren't really working projects, but now like look at all the DeFi being built on Ethereum. Like it's a working project now. So will it? I think there will be a dump, and I will definitely be getting out and putting in some sort of stable coin or Bitcoin if you can get good enough staking on it, and then just have a war chest really for the next one, or even from this one. Like there's definitely potential to be in a pretty good place by the end of this bull run. But I mean, what's your two plans with like exit plans, or if you sort of following any sort of
take it to the ground?
Take it to hold on for dear life, crew.
I'm just gonna ride it till I go back to zero.
Oh, no.
No, mine's we spoke on the phone and Chesh knows obviously, but I think I'm looking around. Do you know what? I'm actually like more and more looking to take out maybe my initial investment. Actually, because I'm a 5x right now, and that was my question for you. Like on my total portfolio, I'm up 566%. So is that a 6x?
Yeah, that's 5.6x. Yeah, that's effectively
Yeah, I'm always thinking like maybe reduce a bit of risk there. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think I might wait for another little pump and then just take out. That's just me being a bit conservative there. But I think
thing is,
Adam.
I think the funny thing is, if you're in like a stock or like I mean, you compare it to like an ISA or something, like a normal ISA. Or if you're in a stock, you'd be like over the moon. But I think just because of the nature of a crypto bull run, you're like, no, but I want more. I want more. Like in any other walk of life, the gains we've got, you would be like, fuck me. You know, if someone said, give me X, and we won't talk figures obviously, but if someone said to you like 6 months ago, this figure that you've put in is going to turn into this, you'd be like, you'd chew their arm off. But now you're here and you still see so much upside. Like I don't even think it's barely begun yet, to be honest.
I agree with you.
Then now you're like, I don't know. It's kind of, I think you get to a point you have to just have a plan and stick to it. So I'm definitely going to take some amount out. I mean, if I get to like a good golden figure and I can stake enough to, you know, you can sort of stake enough to match your salary just from staking rewards, then you've kind of won already, haven't you, to an extent. You just got that freedom then of knowing that you can just stand up and say, yeah, do you know what, I'm good. I can walk away.
Do you know what?
But I don't know. It's going to be hard doing it when it comes.
Yeah. I was looking at my portfolio today and I was like, what would I kind of sell? I've got a load of small coins and just like little bits, and just the hassle of taking it out of those. I just think I can't be fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
things I'm quite big in, I actually think there's just more room for growth. So I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I would take any out. I've got Bitcoin obviously, and it's like I don't think I want to take any out. So yeah, but I was looking around August, September, like latest. I think I do need to reduce risk at some point this year. But like just sorry, Chesh, I kind of overtook there. What's your sort of exit strategy?
I don't know. I sort of stick with I like BitBoy's. I don't know if you watch him, BitBoy. He's got like, he seems to think like September is like this date when he thinks Bitcoin's going to top out or whatever. So I don't know. I'm going to look at that date and use it as a gauge. The thing is, I don't have any Bitcoin. I've got all altcoins. I went full risk, you know, because I just wanted to make as much money as possible. So I just went full risk, all altcoins. So I've got the advantage of Bitcoin topping out first and sort of knowing.
Yeah.
You know, Bitcoin will go on its mad streak, and then all the altcoins will push on. But I don't even know if it's going to be like you say, Markies. I don't even know if there's going to be a massive bear market. It's so different now, you know. It's so much like it's institutional money now, and it's big boys come to the table. So and they're all still FOMOing in now. And will they stop FOMO? If it gets 100K, they're going to be like, oh, we've all, more institutions going to be like, damn, we've got to get a piece of this, you know, and it just snowballing over. I just don't know. I don't know.
100K is like going to be like, I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be a big pullback then. I don't think it'll be too. But
I think at 100K, a lot of early adopters will be like, yeah, that's a good figure to pull some out. But I just think the billionaires will buy the dip. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, you think there's not even enough millionaires in the world to all own one Bitcoin each.
That's crazy.
So there's too many. So not every millionaire in the world could own a Bitcoin, and there's billionaires investing in it. And this is that I could give you 100,000 facts, but there's just, when you actually start to think, and every time someone sells someone, there's just a billionaire saying, I'll have that. So yeah, I think there's good upside. I do think I've heard some things flying around about potentially some sectors not being affected as much by the bear market. So like NFTs, obviously, where that's art and it's quite a new thing, it might just grow regardless. But I do think there'll be some sort of correction. And even if you've pulled some out and you've pulled out enough to reinvest when some of your favorites sort of dip or go sideways in the sort of in an accumulation stage, then again, you're laughing, aren't you, really? And I just think that the more knowledge you have going into the next bull market, the better, isn't it? If you've got a nice figure, and with what you know now and what you'll know by then, it doesn't really matter if it goes up 30% after you pulled your money out, because you'd like to think you're gonna make that back and something long term. That's how I kind of see it. I don't know if you've both seen this other crazy stuff that I've sort of, someone brought it onto my radar, like Earth 2. And I think there's kind of along the lines of like Decentraland. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, no way, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then I just thought how crazy the world is now. And like people looking to buy land in like a virtual land in like theme parks and have like a sausage stall there and sell it for Ethereum. And that's how they're going to make their millions. And it's just, yeah, it's all got a bit crazy, but I can actually see it being a thing.
Well, yeah. Man.
Have you seen anything like that? Have you had it?
What's that?
Have you looked into any or heard any sort of things around that?
Earth 2, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Like, countries are getting here and stuff. There's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've got some Decentraland from 2017, funny enough. But,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one someone was raving about, and then, yeah, it survived. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's doing well. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, that's the other thing. Like, I think if you don't pull out of some in this bull cycle, will they all be around in the next one? That's the only thing. If you leave significant sort of money, I think there might. And I was speaking to like that D Ludlow's. He runs the 5 AM club, and he's sort of looking to do an index now that he thinks of like X amount of projects that he thinks might just perform well throughout the bear market, regardless. Right. So something like that might be an option, but I think you wouldn't really want to leave significant money in something that might not be about. I mean, at the minute, you can pretty much throw a dart at the top 100 and you're going to earn money. You know, it's kind of whether they've got good fundamentals or not, you can just kind of close your eyes and at the minute. But there'll come a time when that matures, the space, and you'll actually have to be in a good project, I think.
Yeah. The thing is, at the minute, there's a lot of good projects there. Nothing like I feel like the last bull market. From what I was looking at the projects, there's not many that are still around. You know, most of them were just crap projects. Now I feel like the space is maturing. You're getting so many good projects, and that is why everything's performing so well as well. Because it's just crazy out there.
So, Josh, last time was speculation, wasn't it? Like 2017. It was just like an idea, and then companies are getting fucking shitload of money, and then a lot of people running off with the money and stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely different now. Mark, what? Obviously, again, don't say amounts like just ever. I think, but what are you up on your total portfolio? Like a X like kind of thing. If you don't mind.
Pretty similar to you. Looking at about a 5 at the minute. I think there's so much room to grow, but that's where I'm at the minute. Like I've gone for 10. I've gone a few high cap now. I've kind of, because I was ending up in everything.
Yeah.
And now I've gone for like 10. I've gone for like a few higher caps, so like top 10, few mid, and then a few low. And then I'm gonna rebalance once a month. So I'll stake mine for 30 days. And then I'll rebalance so if one of them's gone ahead, and this is kind of what I did with the crypto circle as a little sort of plan. If one of them's gone, so they should all be 10%. If one of them's gone to like 20, 30%, I'll just take the profits out of that for one of the others, so that when that goes, obviously it'll get the gain. But what I'm looking to do now, I think on my next rebalance, I'm going sort of low cap, like 60 to 100 mil, and just going like either half of it or knowing me, probably all 10 of them, just being low cap. I know it's high risk, but I just don't want to look back at rare opportunity and be like, oh, could I have had more? You know, I don't know. Or maybe half low cap, but with like good low, you know, good projects that are good low cap. Like I know they're riskier, but with a bit of research, not just mindless low caps, and then sort of the rest kind of mid caps. So like known, pretty semi well established projects. We've still got a lot of room to grow, but that's where I'm leaning at the minute. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I'm quite keen on that. I'm quite keen on like do 10 risky ones, and one of them will be fucking class. And it at our worst one, me and Chesh got into glitch, and it was like I said to you, butterfly, yeah, butterfly fucked for us. I reckon that'll come good though. I reckon it'll come good.
Nah,
You know,
I
reckon?
mean,
I've lost all hope.
the thing is, if you get like, I mean, when you get to a certain stage of like gains, then really, if say you had 10 projects, if one went to zero, but like the other or 7 of them perform really well, then it doesn't really matter, if you know what I mean. Like, say one of them really exceeded, and you've got a few low caps, you'd have to be pretty unfortunate for none of them to do
That's
pretty
right.
well.
I think around 7.
I know it's difficult, but
Yeah, I think around 7's a good number. Like,
yeah.
the one we got in glitch was like, I think it's sitting at 30% right now. Like, and that was a failure, but like it's still 30% up in like whatever it is. It was a bit annoying. We thought it'd do better, but yeah, it still might come good, man. It still might come good. They are
Yeah.
doing things at the minute, but yeah. Do you do much charting and stuff? Then you mentioned charting. Do you?
Yeah, so we've been doing it on the mentorship I've been doing. Like, I'm not great at it at the minute, but I've just kind of started to look, because a few people are jumping into like futures and stuff, and I'm just I just want to kind of because I just want to get to the stage where I can kind of look at them well enough to know when's a good time to put it into the other ones, or once they've kind of had their upside, then to get one before it sort of goes. So yeah, just learning that side really. I mean, I've not come back from any sort of investment background before this, so I'm learning all the time myself. But you're starting to get my head around it. A lot of these, like the guys I know in the crypto circle and that, they've come from like forex backgrounds, so that they've got a pretty good sort of concept to the charts and stuff. So where I've not come from that background, I'm sort of learning it all really, but getting there, to be honest, getting there with it.
What are they sort of with the charting and just the industry? Are they like?
Well, I mean, if you get a chance, read their blueprint. It's brilliant. But they've got like a concept of way of doing it. There's different stages of it, so that they accumulate at different points and then go into alts and then back into Bitcoin and just basically ride the market. And it is pretty much to the letter played out how they thought it was, how they thought it would. They haven't really decided what they're doing at the end yet. They're looking into various things on what they're going to do at the end, like staking and bits and bobs. But yeah, they know their stuff. And the nice thing is I think they had their pants pulled down in 2017 in the last one, and they're doing everything they wish they'd done the first time around. So the way I see it is, if I can sort of learn from them, I can almost make this like my second bull run, with it being my first bull run, if that makes sense. Not make the mistakes they did, because I don't think there might not be the opportunities in the next one. I think there'll be opportunities, but I think this is the real time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you know what you're doing, then there'll be loads of opportunities in the next one too. But I think this is a good time to accumulate as much wealth as you can get, really.
Yeah, I think so, man. I would have looked back and be like, I couldn't do. I did an amount that was like, I don't know how to describe the amount I put in. I won't regret doing more, but then if I did less, I think I would have regretted it. So I did a good amount, I think, for me, but
yeah,
without putting myself in any trouble or anything like that. So yeah, I'm quite personally, but yeah. What's your biggest win or like best trade, or do you know what I mean? Something that you're quite happy with, or biggest win, I guess.
I guess what's been my best? Do you know what? Just as much as like the others have done well and alts and that, I think just getting into Bitcoin when I did, like just literally having the bollocks to say, right, I've got this pot of money and I'm going to put an amount in crypto and not put it all into property. With hindsight, would have put it all into property. It would have put it all into crypto and then after, but you can look back and say that, but I never would have. If crypto had gone to zero, then I would have just messed up the property business. So, like you, I'm happy with the amount I put in. And I'm glad I was aggressive with it, because like my missus got in at 11 and she wished she had got in at when I got in at 9, and then the next person that come along at 15 wished they had got in at, and you can go on forever, and people will just watch it go up and up and up and wish they got in at then. So I'm just glad I was quite aggressive before I fully understood it, which you could say is a bit rash, but it paid off. So I kind of knew, like I listened to that book and I listened to people that knew what they were talking about, Raw Power, and you just know, like these people are much more intelligent than I am in the investment space, and the way they were talking, you're just like, yeah, this is going to be huge. So yeah, just went for it. Sometimes you just got to do it. You got to do it. And it wasn't an amount that I would like, it was a lot. Some people see it as a lot of money, and I guess it is, but it was an amount that if it went to zero, I would literally just kind of shrug my shoulder. I'm kind of like that anyway, but I would literally just be like, people have said to me, if your portfolio went to zero, I'd be like, well, it was fun, wasn't it? Like, it's not, obviously as it gets higher, you can see the upsides, but yeah, I've always been like that. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero, you know? And that is literally my view. I don't really flap when it goes down massively, and I don't get too excited when it goes huge, but.
Nice.
How are you both with managing the dips, like the corrections? Are you kind of got used to it now, or do you have a bit of a wobble?
I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Like the unemotional side, it just turn it off for a bit. Sometimes you can't help. I said to Chesh actually, the other podcast actually last week. Joe, that's a bit of a lie. You see it and you get a bit like antsy. It's gone down like 30%, 20%. But then it goes up the same amount. I don't feel like elated. I'm just kind of that's expected, which is kind of fucked up. I should either do both, be grateful that it's gone up 20-30%. But I'm just kind of like, hurry up, kind of. But yeah, what about you, Chesh?
Yeah, the first dip I ever saw was it scared me. Like you don't know what's going on, do you? Then, but yeah, you just after a while, they're just nothing, are they? It's just like, oh, it's part of it. You know, it's part of it. You know, it's going to go up next week. So what's the point in worrying about it, sort of thing?
And it's literally been going
5 more.
2 days a week. Sorry, Mark.
I said just buy more and chill.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
When it dips, there are opportunities, isn't they? I think if you believe in it, then you just see them as opportunities. You're like, well, I must have money somewhere. One of the ones I like dipped 20%.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, Chesh, what do you do with? I know me and Mike spoke about sort of investment. Did you put an amount in up front, or have you just been sort of dollar cost averaging in, or what's been your approach?
Yeah, I was a bit stupid, really. I sort of just went all in on. I didn't know nothing about any of it, really. You know, I just knew. I followed Bitcoin for years, but I'd never invested in it. And then I just thought. I remember texting Mike and going, Mike, you was into Bitcoin before, blah blah blah. You still in it? And then he gave me Swissborg to buy some Bitcoin and that. I just got in like that, and I went all in on XRP and got stung by the SEC.
Yeah, he cracked me up. I didn't know how much money he's talking, and like when he told me, I was like, "Fucking hell!" Just to go in like blindly.
Did you lose it? Like obviously not monetary terms, but percentage wise, did you get quite a kick?
It did. You know what? I got out early enough where it wasn't that bad. It was it could have been a lot worse, because some people were saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Nothing will happen." But I thought, nah, this doesn't sound right to me. A lawsuit just doesn't sound right. So I just took everything out, took my loss, and I've made it back loads since. So it's not really the end of the world. I just know I'll never ever touch XRP again, especially after me and Mike we was listening to that Martini guy and talking about XRP once, and he said, "Oh yeah, I can see it going to $3 by the end of the day," or something crazy like that. It was, and me and Mike was like FOMOing in, and then it was a massive dump, and we both bought literally at the top. Oh, it was torture.
It's $2.77, and it's a meme or something, it's like a joke that it's going to go to $2.77. But I thought it's being serious. But to be fair, I reckon some people got. I didn't put much in, luckily, but yeah, some people got stung from that. I reckon bad. It's a bit. I think that's a bit irresponsible, to be fair.
Yeah, to be honest, it's just but you learn from it, don't you? And the thing is, what I don't understand is my sort of take with XRP. Like, yes, it may do well eventually. Yes, they may win the lawsuit, but when you've got all these great projects around that haven't got the SEC after them, like one of the most powerful institutions in the world, what's the point of taking the gamble? Like, why have any significant money in it when you know there's other projects that have got massive upsides as well? That's why I pulled out of it, because I was like, SEC lawsuit, get my money out. It's just not worth it, is it? There's so many good projects out there. There's just no point exposing yourself to that risk. No. And it hasn't really done a lot, has it? Like, it's not going to, I don't think. But
no, they're done, I think. If this lawsuit hangs out to the end of this bull run, they're screwed. They're gone.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think you might see a little bit of price action where people are getting into the space and they don't really understand how the token metrics work, and they just say, oh, that's cheap, and end up buying it. But you might see a little bit of movement, but I think kind of people in the space that have been in there for a while are just, they're not touching it now, are they? So,
yeah. My biggest holding is ETH. What do you think's holding that back? Got any opinion on it?
Yeah, I think it's going to fly. Like now it's going to become a deflationary asset. Like, because now it's going to have a limited supply. And they're gonna sort it. ETH 2.0, they're gonna sort out the issues. They're gonna sort out the gas fees, and then I just think once they've sorted that out, like everything's being made on it. Like I know they've got these sort of like Ethereum killer fanboys and all the Cardano, is gonna kill. But at the end of the day, like ETH's a great project. Everything's being made on it, and its problems that it's got are being addressed, and there's going to be a limited supply, and they're going to start burning it. Like, I can't. It's naive to say it can only go one way, but I think the upside's due to come, and that's why I'm holding on to it. I am holding on to it. I know some people have sold their positions and gone into other stuff, but I think it's due. It's due. It's time. I think it'll have a big run up. I think end of this month, early next month, I think you'll really start to see it move. I just think I did expect more from it so far, but I just feel like the later it comes, the harder it will pump. So we'll see. But yeah, I think we're going to see big things coming up soon in all of them. I really do think we haven't really seen a lot yet. And from those people I've been speaking to, experience in the space, they're like, this is nothing. This is nothing. And I'm feeling like we've seen it and it's kind of going the other side, but they're like, no, like this isn't, you don't understand. This isn't it. And I'm like, really okay. Because obviously it's not me this.
I'm really excited to experience this pump, Yeah. I can't wait to see what it actually looks like. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's going to be, it'll be great. But I think it's exciting to see where it'll end up as well, like the whole space and our portfolio. And because obviously most, at the end of the day, it is making money. But I think just being a part of something that's new and not really fully developed yet, like, is pretty exciting because it's going to shape the world in a lot of ways. I don't think people quite understand like how big it is and what it means. And I just think most people just think it's a con. Or if people are turning around to it now, but what I wish is that years ago I'd actually looked into it, because as soon as I started to understand it, I believed it straight away. But like years ago, I didn't even bother to give it the time of day because I was just like, oh, sounds like a load of shit. But if I had actually read it, because as soon as I read anything into it, that was it. I just knew it was going to be huge. But hey ho. We could still get there.
How about we have a little, whoever makes the most percentage in their portfolio pays for our Vegas holiday to celebrate end of the bull run.
Holiday or relocation?
Yeah. Relocation to Vegas sounds good.
I don't know. It might be, for Portugal or Dubai maybe, for no no specific reason, obviously.
Markies, what's been your worst investment or mistake you made? Like it doesn't even have to be an investment, but in crypto, have you had any mistakes, like sent money to the wrong place or like something like that?
Yeah, I've got some Monero that I'll never see again. Luckily it was a tiny amount, but I didn't really understand anything. I thought I was just going to set up loads of little wallets, and I had Monero in there, and it's 100% the password I put in, but it's not having it. So it's a small amount. It could be worth a lot in the future, I guess, but I'm just going to have to swallow that. But luckily, touch wood, nothing huge. And investment wise, I think I've been really lucky that I was from the start. I've always spoke to people that are quite knowledgeable in the space, and it turns out the people that I was watching on YouTube, although there's a load of rubbish, were actually quite clued up as well. So I've been quite lucky that way, that even when I didn't know what was going on, and I don't pretend to be any expert now, but when I was fresh, I had a bit of luck where I kind of copied people that knew what they were doing. So look back and I look back and not many regrets so far. So yeah, there's always better things you can do, isn't there? But I mean, I'm quite happy with where I am now, in a short space of time.
Who are you like copying, or when you said about people on YouTube, like anyone you recommend?
Yeah, so when we were speaking the other day, like that Martini guy's done a few good projects, and I watch a lot of the Crypto Busy, that they've been pretty spot on so far. But mainly, like when I did that first little portfolio, it was following like D Ludlow, who does the 5 AM club, and pretty much just followed his little small portfolio. And I also got copied some shares of his that he had, and he invested in Riot blockchain. So I got a few of them, opened a Hargreaves Lansdowne account, and they're like 700% up as well. Oh. So yeah, it was kind of like semi-lucky, but just copying someone that's more intelligent than I am in the space. And I mean, you get a lot of people that just basically copy the billionaires, don't they, and do all right out of it. Like if you follow the successful people, it's not going to do you too bad, is it? I know you should do your own research and stuff, but mine was kind of get in now, learn as much as I can along the way. So yeah. You guys, what's next then? What are you thinking next?
In crypto, or like just now?
Crypto. And do you want to stay in it, sort of post bull run, or will you look to pull out and get into, like, I don't know, emerging markets, or is there any, or is it you're in it for the tech as well? Or
like the tech? No, joking.
I definitely believe in the tech, but I don't know. I like child trafficking rings and stuff like that. You know, we might invest in a few of them.
Hey, we just got banned from Twitter. We're going to get banned from YouTube as well.
Oh yeah, we did actually. I forgot
that. How'd you get banned? What it says?
I don't know. The message just kind of said, I don't know. It was for like spam, but I wasn't spamming.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I think it was sorted. Fuck's sake. Yeah, you saw today Swissborg done Ethereum staking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What return they put on that?
8%, unless you've got the
premium
pro account. You get like 20, I think, if you've got the pro account.
Yeah. Right. 75% of my Ethereum, because I was just like, yeah, no brainer.
Have you staked it, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I was just looking into it. I was trying to work out the fees you pay, but I don't know. I couldn't work it out.
So you don't have to have 32 in there like you do for the 2.0.
No.
I think you just do
it. Right. That's decent. I might have a look into that.
Yeah,
I've staked a few, not ETH. Yeah.
Yeah, I've staked most of my stuff, to be fair. Like most of the good coins, anyway. Like, I think they're just gonna stay.
Yeah.
Like fucking YFDI. What's it, like 79% APY?
Is it really? And it's got tiny market cap as
Oh,
well.
mate, I'm buzzing for
What
this.
is the stake
I
on
think
there?
it's going to be $1 billion market cap coin. I think it's going to be massive.
Well, they want to be top 30, don't they? I
Mm.
think it's what they said. And I haven't really looked into what you can stake on there, but it's looking good. Because really, this is kind of my plan. Like, I don't know whether I'll leave a percentage in or whatever, but my idea is to like stake a stable coin or stake Bitcoin, leave it in something that won't depreciate too much, and yeah, pretty much just live off the interest and preserve the capital. Because I know, like, you know, some people are like, oh yeah, make your money, put it in something else, and then it's gone though, isn't it? But I'm just thinking, if you can get it up to a decent level, get interest on it in ridiculous numbers that you wouldn't get in a like a high street bank, and just use that money or use that money to invest and preserve your capital for the next bull run. Or I don't know, there's so many things you can do, isn't there? I think there'll be better products by the time this bull run's over. So I know like Apple look into some sort of staking thing, and I think there'll be like safe places or safer places to put it, and with good markups. So
I think Swissborg,
yeah, pretty interesting.
80% Bitcoin on Swissborg for the premium users.
Wow.
So I guess that trickles down to, well, at the most probably 40%, but I guess 20% for normal users. I guess. But yeah, and for premium. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try and judge this end of the bull market and sell most of my altcoins. Probably keep at most half in Bitcoin. So everything to kind of Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever. Probably be Ethereum. Probably withdraw the Ethereum, but keep about half of my portfolio in Bitcoin, and then just maybe stake that if there's stuff about. But if there wasn't staking stuff, I think I'd just keep it anyway for the next cycle, or 5, 10 years, 20 years, maybe even forever. So to a degree,
Yeah.
I think my thing was.
I think there'll be huge.
Go on, sorry, Mark.
Sorry, Matt, I was saying I think there'll be loads of staking products. I think there'll be some really, really good. Yeah, I don't think it's a case of if there's going to be. I think there's going to be some attractive returns of staking. It's just finding one of the safer places to leave it. I think that's the most important thing. Even if you get a bit of a smaller return, but you sort of know that exchange or that sort of project is safer. I think that's. But yeah, even if you put the profits from that back into Bitcoin for the next pump, you know, like if it's gonna follow that stock to flow model and be like 970 odd grand by then, you know,
Yeah,
you can get a couple of Bitcoin or whatever plus, or even one or even half, you know, whatever your goal is, and then use the rest to do whatever else with. Then you're laughing, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
what you because obviously you've got a bit different. You've got risky stuff, as you like to say.
Like I say, I'll put it all in USDC, and then, like you say, stake it somewhere. Probably that's probably the plan. I don't know. I've got a lot of other things I want to do, you know, as well. So I don't know.
What like?
Maybe me and Mike was talking about maybe building a game with NFTs and stuff. And it's just a lot of projects I wanna think about. So
yeah. We'll grow that pot and you can decide later. I think that's the main thing, isn't it? You don't have to know right now. That's the thing. You just you build it up, and who knows what we'll want to do with it in the end. But all the time it's building up. You've got choices then, even if you stake a bit of it. I mean, what's USDT on, or is it USDC on Swissborg? Is it? It's like 25%.
I think that's 20%. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So even a bit in there, and that's amazing return, isn't it?
Just say you made a couple of $100,000 and you just bang that in there. That's your wage, you know, your yearly wage. Why you think of something else to do? I don't know.
Exactly that. I think that's a nice position to be in. If you can at least I'd love to be able to stake something by the end of this that is gonna just match my wage. It'll just be such a great feeling. I'm not saying like necessarily rush out of work, but just knowing that you're there just because you enjoy it or whatever. It's a lovely feeling, rather than being like, I'm here because it pays the bills, you know. So yeah, that'll be a nice feeling, and then from there you can decide, can't you? Hopefully grow into more. I mean, once you've got X amount, you'll probably be able to spot these smaller projects early and start to grow it, because then you'll have a decent amount to put into a small project. Like, I mean, I think like some of these, if you think about it, it's probably the Google of cryptocurrency probably doesn't even exist yet. You know, there's probably, maybe not the Google, but like a fairly big company doesn't even exist yet. And we'd like to think that we're positioned with enough capital then to just go, that's the one there, and put enough into it. So yeah, I think once you've built it up, you've got options. So
yeah, man, for sure.
What's this gaming side then, you thinking? Of creating games, or?
I don't know. I just feel like, you know, like a trading card game or something with NFTs. I just feel like it could fund itself. Like, you could just send out, you could offer some of the cards or whatever and artwork or something from the project as NFTs to fund the project. I don't know. We was just thinking different things.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to build something in the space. I think it would keep you interested, keep you there.
Yeah. I think the opportunity's there. Like, the opportunities, it's one of them. You're like, you know that there's a huge opportunity here, but you're not quite sure. Other than investing in, like, obviously we're going to do quite well, I think, in just investing in projects. But I don't know about you. I feel like there's something more, but it's just not clicked yet. There's
100%.
bigger opportunity here, and we're so early in the space that I just feel like there is something, but it's kind of like, just do what you're doing and you work it out. Like, we'll work it out between, or whatever, you know, put your heads together. Or I think it's all there. It's all there for the taking.
You know what? I don't feel like there's the UK is that huge on crypto either. You know, I feel like it's really young here still, and I feel like I think I was talking to Mike as well about maybe even doing classes to get like people into it. You know, and I don't know, just help people understand it a bit more.
Yeah, even from like, do you know what? The biggest headache for me is, and this is the bit, and I was actually going to bring this up anyway, but, and I guess this is probably why there's such big upsides with it, because it is such a fresh space. But like, you can't ring any, like, normally I'm used to, like, if I'm having an issue with something, you call up customer service and like, oh yeah, blah, blah, you do this, you do that, sorted, bang, off the phone. I have literally like gouge my eyeballs out sometimes, just like working out exchanges, working out, even like where I'm quite new to it all, like trading pairs and all this stuff now that you take for granted. Like, I think it'd be so good just to, and I'll probably do this quite a lot anyway, if someone messages me, oh yeah, this is how you do it, blah, blah, blah. But I think it'd be nice to bring people from, and you haven't got to be an expert, you've just got to know more than the person that's asking you. So like, if I could just help someone that was me 6 months ago to get to here, just with the exchanges, just with, you know, all the bits that you're just like, this is like pulling teeth. I think that'd be good, just to like, just to do something along them kind of lines.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, like you say, there's so much opportunity, like so much.
That's what me and Chesh sort of said about this podcast thing to do. We've got our website as well, the blog, and we was writing articles and stuff. And then we said we do like instructional videos and things like that as well on the YouTube channel, like the podcast as well, but then just like how to do this, because like you have to figure it out yourself to a degree, and like it's fucking scary sometimes, because like you send money and then you're like, where the fuck's that gone?
I don't know about you, when you send in like, well, like sending anything at first and you're like, it's not there yet, it's not there yet, I'm gonna go piss, I'll come back, it's still not there. And now you just like whacking it off like it's nothing. But I get, it's like anything, isn't it? It's just scary at first, and I don't know, because it just goes off into this, and because you know, if you have messed it up, it has gone forever as well. It's not like you can ring Julie from Nationwide and say, oh yeah, I've been an idiot. It's like, are you gonna ring Satoshi? Like, oh no, hold up, no one knows who you are. Like,
we were honest, no, that wasn't me. Charge it back.
So yeah, I think something like that would be good, and it'd just be nice to see people like developing as well, because like, obviously we are, like, I don't want to sound like we're there, do you know what I mean, but we're further along the curve than others, and there's people further along the curve than us, and I've leached so much information off people and all the rest of it, but it'd be nice to get someone from like, what the hell is cryptocurrency, to like, just running with it a little bit and having a few little, even if, you know, they put like 100 quid in and they just see it go up like to 200 and like just that little, you know, it's a bit of a buzz, isn't it, at first? And it's just nice to see your investment.
I think what you said earlier as well is like just taking that first step sort of thing and just investing, doing it.
Yeah.
You know, that is the biggest thing. As soon as you do it, you're hooked, and I feel like you just you fall down a rabbit hole of learning about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, massively. Yeah. Yeah, and then that's it then, isn't it? You just full blown hooked.
It's mad, isn't it? It is.
Yeah. It's good though. It's given like, I feel like it's definitely given me a lot more purpose throughout like COVID and that. Like I just think you could take it one of two ways. You could just sit there being like, wait for the world to open up, or you can do something with it. And it's filled a void. It's filled a massive void where it could have been. Like, I'm quite fortunate. I've been going into work and stuff because this comes under like key worker. So I've been quite fortunate. I've interacted with a lot of people, but it's filled a little void of like your Friday, Saturday nights where you'd be going for dinner or socializing or whatever. It's been, I've had this to do. So it's been a great distraction. And obviously it's been kind to me as well. So it's like, yeah, I feel like it's the right space at the right time. Which I don't know about you two. I mean, have you found the same? Like it's filled a bit of a gap that would have been filled by COVID.
100% taking up all my time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. You're sort of like reluctant for the world to open now, aren't you? Because you're like, I'm not like, no, Boris, milk it a little bit longer, mate.
You know.
But I think it will be nice. I think putting in the work now, when the world does open up, like we should know enough that it can just kind of tick in the background. And that's why I've been hitting it so hard, because I don't want to be that guy in the pub checking like trading view in the corner being like, do you know what I mean? So yeah. I probably will be. I will be, but on the side. Yeah. So.
No, for sure.
Any views on when you think the bull run will end? Like I've heard a few different things. I kind of semi buy into the fact I think it might go on a tiny bit longer this time, but I do think there will be a correction. I do think there'll be a bear market of some sorts. I do think it might go on a bit longer because people are piling in all the time. If you look at like Google Trends, for example, and look at some of the key search terms like Bitcoin, it's I don't know where it is now, but when I last looked, it was about 50% of when it was in 2017. So you've got still a lot of, there's still a lot of FOMO in to happen. So I do think it could get on longer. I mean, it's gone from me with not knowing many people investing to starting to see people pop up and start to open accounts. And so I think we're quite early there. So it might, I mean, I didn't experience the last one, but something says to me, and it's a dangerous thing to say, but it's different this time, but I think it might be extended a bit. I don't know. That's where I'm leaning towards at the minute, but who am I? What do you think?
I like all the chart history and stuff, so I'm just going to stick with what history says, go by this distance they all say seems to happen. I'm just going to stick with that. They seem to think Bitcoin will end in like September, October, and then the rest will go on for a couple more months, and then it'll all die. So by Christmas, it'll probably be gone. I don't know. I agree with you though. I sort of think it will go on longer, but I'm going to stick to history.
Oh, I'm sticking to history. And I think the funny thing about it is, like, even if it goes up 20% after you pull your money out, you can always look back and say, but if you don't, and then you're that guy trying to get on the exchange when you can't get on it because and you're just seeing it go down, you're trying to throw your laptop I don't want to be that guy. I'd rather say I've done really well and sort of get out. And I do think it will happen because at the end of the day, it's market psychology. So, well, you've got to think, if everybody thinks it's going to happen, it will happen because everyone thinks it's going to happen and therefore they pull out. So then as soon as people start to see it correct, other people will think this is the dip and in turn cause the bear market. So it's kind of like, I do think it will. And I think people that buy into it not happening this time, I think they might get caught out. Yeah. I really do. But I'd rather get out than see it go to zero.
I'd
Because
rather-
mine's at a good point now where I could make it into a lot more. So
do
if
you
I
know
pull
what?
out,
I don't have any regrets. So like my strategy, I've told both of you, but the 3x, 6x, and 10x sell half your profits, depending on the coin, depending on what it's going to do. So it's not a golden rule, but it's sort of a rule. I've never regretted selling some at 3x and then it going up more. I've never regretted it. That's just me personally.
No.
Everyone else might be different, but because I've got some out and then put it into Ethereum or Bitcoin, I've never regretted that because it's like some out and then you could be like, oh, well, you could have had a couple more grand there, but I've never thought like that personally. So I think for me, the same with the bull market ending, I wouldn't even, I wouldn't even start to think about selling some in August, like potentially just some, not all of it, just a portion, and then just to cover hedge my bets. I mean, I'll judge it month by month, day by day, obviously, because it changes a lot. But yeah, I'm not sure of that one. I'll leave some skin in the game for sure, but definitely not all of it. Like in my head, I'm thinking, sell half by September latest. Personally,
it's not a bad point.
Right. We'll see what happens.
Until you hear anyone in this, like, I don't know about you, like it's I think as soon as I start to hear whispers of it, if I haven't already pulled out a significant amount, that's the time. But at the minute, there's not one person that I'm aware of in the space or anyone on my radar that even thinks we're near to the end. So as soon as you start to hear that whisper, this could be ending, I think, and look at other factors as well. Then I'll probably look to take all of it out. Then if I would have, by that point, I would have probably taken out bits of it.
Are you guys going to use the rule of Bitcoin going on its blow off top first and then altcoins a few months after, or are you going to just, once you hear your stirrings of it, it's going to go wrong, you're going to pull out? Like, so maybe even before the Bitcoin top.
I'm going
to sell gradually.
Go on.
So like, in an ideal world, no one's going to get the peak. I just don't think you are. I don't know. I think I'm going to probably end up selling a bit like early September, August, say here, then sell a bit more here, and then I'll try and get that top. But I mean, if I get the top, then I'm not a trader, so I don't know. And then maybe it'll end up like selling here and then the rest here. I think that's how mine's going to go. Sort of imagine a line, so the other way, a line like that, here, 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 kind of thing. I think that's how I'm going to try and do it. It's easy to say that, but I just don't think I'm going to get that top. So, because I'm not a trader.
No one's going to get the top.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we'll see, man. Because like my logic was, if you've got like a line like this, if you sell here, and it comes down here, and you sell here, it could still go like this, in reality, I think. So I won't sell all at one point, if that makes sense. I'll leave something there at various points.
All I would say, I'd probably rather be in Bitcoin when a correction comes than an altcoin. That's where I will anywhere before the end of this, or anywhere between. I'd rather have it all in Bitcoin, just because if that corrects, like, I think that will do well long term regardless. It'll probably go sideways for a little while, but I wouldn't want to be in an altcoin when this bear market comes. I just wouldn't. I think they're going to just drop off the face of the earth, aren't they? So, but yeah, US, a stable coin like Cheshire's doing is just, it's not going to go up, it's not going to go down, is it? And you're going to earn interest on it. It's kind of almost a no-brainer right now with how attractive it is. Or Bitcoin staked. It depends what the rewards are on each, doesn't it? If Bitcoin's being staked at a decent amount, probably half in a USDT and half in a stable coin and half in Bitcoin or something. Or yeah.
One thing just to point out that scares me a bit with putting it into like a USDC, I'm not a fucking expert, or like Great British pounds for argument's sake, is like the inflation and just the loss of the value of normal current fiat, that kind of, because like the dollar the dollar's what, like down 10% ish this year, whatever it is. So I'm like, there's
Yeah,
10% on.
dollars had it.
And it depends as a society how much we start using cryptos as well, like in day to day, and then there are all of our cash machines and stuff like that. But like you can do stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of like that. Hedges bets against fiat is what I'm kind of saying. So that's what's with that.
Gone, isn't it?
Pardon?
Fiat's had it. Fiat's had it. We're at the end of the monetary cycle now. It's done. Like I think they said like helicopter payments are the end of fiat. Like they are actually the end. And what are America doing? They're giving helicopter payments to. Was it today or something? They gave everyone 1,400 quid or something. That is the end of the monetary system. Like it's got to move somewhere else now. We're at the end of it.
Well, in which case,
I don't think there's a way back. Fiat's got 100% failure rate.
In which case, if that does come true, which I kind of believe it does, it's like, will we have that much of a bear market?
I think there's only so long they can kick the can down the road, isn't there? How they can put in as much stimulus as they want, but it's for me. It's not a case of when the dollars ends. It's a case of when it does, not if it will. I can't, there's no way back. I mean, you just look at the money they're printing now. It will go into assets. Obviously, it will. It'll pump it all, but for how long? I don't think they can do it for too long. But who knows?
On the blow off top,
I think this is. Go on. Sorry, mate. Go on.
On the blow off top, just one thing I wasn't sure about. What are we kind of saying? Is it like a 30% increase in like a week, a day, or a month, or how do you guys see that kind of blow off top?
Well, last time it looked like a normal correction, didn't it? It looked like it was like making an upwards momentum, just like it had been, and then it dipped, and then it started going up again and just dropped off a cliff. So it's so hard to say when that end is, isn't it? Really, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. To be honest, it's so hard to say where it'll end up at the end of this bull run, Bitcoin. I think it'll be 100 plus, I should think, but
yeah,
how far ahead of that?
Some people
I don't know.
360k and all that, and some of the price predictions with Ethereum are fucking wild. 20k and stuff.
360k seems extreme to me because you're talking about adding a lot of market cap on. A lot of market cap onto that. I can't see it. I can't see it getting above 250 personally, but because I just think that's a lot of market cap. It's taken us this long to get $1 trillion in or whatever it is, $1.5 trillion, and there's a lot more to go.
What we're kind of saying with society though, and adopting crypto, and it's like, what if they just do away with fiat? Like, what if they just more or less?
That's not going to happen anytime soon, though, is it? I mean, it will happen. I 100% agree, but we're talking maybe 20 years. I can't see it just going like that. We're not ready for it. No one's ready for it, I don't think.
Yeah. I
do think this is the end of America. I think China will be the next superpower now, like to rule it all.
Hey.
I think the US done because they're just so slow at adopting.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, I'm not the expert at this, but like China own a lot of America's like energy and stuff like this, and I think they own their railways or something like that, and they own a lot, and they've got their foot in a lot of fucking pies, man. And I think people have been selling out to China. It's pretty scary, man.
5 years they'll be the number one economy.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Ibra. Conchesh.
Oh no, I was just saying. I reckon in 5 years, China will be the number one economy. I have no doubt about that. I think they will be the number one.
Listen, fuck Catherine.
That's why I picked that.
got you safe
there. Chesh, no, already.
I got my safe haven.
Quality. Oh mate. Something that caught my eye today, actually, Peter Schiff.
Yeah.
This is a theory, right? I think he's just trolling, man. The way
definitely invested. Did you? I think his son's just put 100% of his portfolio into Bitcoin, isn't he?
You know what?
His son.
The way
He's playing, he got like 10% plus in there.
the way he's writing tweets, I'm like, you're looking for like clout from Twitter, and then like, or do you want to keep things down? So you're getting your or whatever like sorted.
Yeah,
That's another thing actually I thought about ETH. This is just a bit of a theory of mine, but I feel like the price has been a bit suppressed somehow. I don't know how they do it, but because of the CME stuff and all the contracts there, like you're a businessman, like you want people to get in and buy, you know, like make it attractive for like the big players, and they'll make money, you know. I don't know how the logistics of that would work, but I don't know. It's a bit of a theory. I don't know what you thought on that.
It's still manipulation, isn't there? There's definitely still there, but yeah, for me, I'm not too fussed because I just think I'm sort of like bullish overall. So I just feel like all they're doing is delaying the inevitable. So I do feel like we'll get there. It's just, it doesn't make me fear for the space. So that's why I'm not too worried about all that sort of stuff, really. Should we all have a little guess on what we think Bitcoin will be before the sell-off or before the ball runs out, for a bit of fun? We can look back then and say how tragically wrong we all were.
Okay, I'm going to go with 225.
I'm just going to go in the middle.
Go on, Mark. I've already got a number in my head. I think there'll be a big sell-off at 100, and then it will just sort of like trudge its way back up. I feel like I'm and don't get me wrong, like I wouldn't be surprised if it went to like, I don't even know anymore. Do you know what I mean? If it went to 300, I probably wouldn't even raise an eyebrow, but I'm going to go 150.
Okay.
Ooh, small ball.
Yeah, John.
It is. That's conservative, but I think it will go higher, but I'm going to go 150.
Yeah, do you know what? In my head, I was thinking 160. Yeah, 151.
Go 160. Go 160. It'll be interesting to look back.
I promise you, that's what first popped into my head. But this 100k, I think it's going to be a stumbling block. Not in a bad way. Just I mean, I guess a 30% retrace is 70k. You know, like hopefully it's just 30% as they all have been 30%, haven't they? The retraces, which is always a good sign. Longevity.
Have you been, Markies? Have you been cashing out? Sorry, mate. Have you been cashing out on the dips, like, or like you know, like the new pool resets or whatever that everyone talks about now?
Yeah, no, I haven't. Mine's just a rebalance now at the minute. But I do want to, like I said, I either want to make sort of a more aggressive. I'm not sure if it's going to be like an aggressive separate portfolio where all the profit, like when I rebalance take all the profits out of the ones that have kicked and put it into like an aggressive one, or just do that with a whole portfolio. Like I'm leaning towards just doing it with the whole portfolio, or maybe, I don't know, maybe if I kind of took the initial out and then went aggressive, and then it's just a risk-free, but I guess all your profits are gone then. But I don't know. With me, I'm kind of leaning that way now. I know it's not good, bad, or indifferent. I suppose it could pay off, it could not. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? But no. In terms of that, no. I've kind of tried to keep it as simple as possible because I think you can just end up in about 4 different directions and end up doing nothing or make a bad decision. So for me, it's just rebalance it up and then maybe just make it a bit more aggressive in a month's time when a few of my projects have sort of de-staked or unstaked or whatever the term you use is. So even if I put all the profits from staking into something aggressive, it'd probably do quite well. So I don't know. Maybe an aggressive portfolio incoming. We'll see. What are you thinking? Are you sort of going a bit more deeper into it? How you do it, or?
I think I'm going to pull out about 67,000 Bitcoin. I'm going to pull everything and see if this the next see if everything pulls back 30%. I hope it does, because I'll be fuming if it goes straight through. But that's what I'm really thinking about doing it on the next new pool reset.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then maybe doing what you do as well and go like hard. I think I might go hard and wife die, to be fair. I've been thinking about it for a while.
With the market cap of that, and with how ambitious they are, with the fact that I think that's the kind of way a lot of people want to go with their profits, it makes a lot of sense. Like I heard about that fairly early, and I'm just watching it go by and not actually putting it yet. And I think at the start you kind of kick yourself about missing out on opportunities. I think with what you know now, to let opportunities go by is just kind of stupid now. You know what I mean? Like if you see the potential in a project now, I don't know. Now you've got a bit of knowledge. It kind of seems silly not to just go for it. Like it ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? It kind of ticks all the boxes, you know. Like for me, anyway. So yeah, I think the only thing that puts people off it until they understand how it all works is just the price of it. People don't understand that it's still got a huge upside, but
people don't understand its percentage moves rather than price.
Exactly that. And I think this is why I do think a lot of your smaller projects will do well, because new people coming into the market will literally just price it up like they're going out shopping and just be like, well, that's 60k and that one's £2, like not really understanding that one of them couldn't really possibly get to the gains of another one. But but I think, you know, that is what will happen. I think a lot of them will pump because of that reason. People just think they're cheap and think that they could one day get to Bitcoin's price, or will in the next year or whatever. But no, YFI definitely. I'm gonna get to. I've got 4 weeks till I rebalance. I'm gonna have my aggressive portfolio in place by then, and I'm just going for it.
Nice.
I might keep a couple of I might keep like ETH and another one, but 80% of it's going heavily aggressive. I've decided just then, actually, aggression done.
Nice.
That's what I love.
Do you know what? Like, I feel Bitcoin is quite a steady mover, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, compared to the altcoins. So it's like, I think it's a good strategy, man. Joe, on the note of the prices, I've never really understood this. I haven't looked into it, so it's just laziness. What makes a price? Like, what? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why are some more than others lower market cap? Like, there's so many factors. Does anyone kind of know?
What do you mean?
Like, what makes a price? As in, like, why is YFDI so expensive per coin?
Because it's only got a supply of 21,000. So the more scarce the asset, the more.
Is that all it is?
The higher the price.
But
more or less.
But when, right. So when some coins launch, like an ICOs, I just can't really work out why some are like 10 cents and some come out of it.
Because, like I say, some of them have probably got, they release and they've got, say, 5 billion coins, whereas some have only got 2 billion coins. So that difference is differentiating the price.
Okay, so
you just divide it by it, didn't you? So you just divide the market cap by the total, didn't you? So obviously, if that's got a really scarce supply, then they're going to be worth more per token. But then this is where that's why you're better off working out like how much you think something called X versus like the actual price of it, because obviously something else that was at $5,000 could be well overpriced, whereas like YFDI is nowhere, like it's embarrassingly low still, really. But a thing I've been looking into is and what sort of come onto my radar, which has been working well for me, is when you look into a project and you find, like, you identify something and you're like, oh, I quite like that, and it's sort of one of the lower cap. If you kind of look into its competitors, so if you're like, it's got 3 competitors, you do a bit of Google and you find out, right, this is its competitors in the space. I think this project is as good or better than its nearest competitor. You can almost, in a bull run, you can almost say it will get to its nearest competitors. Like, don't get me wrong, its competitor will still keep going up. But say it's like 60 million market cap and its next competitor is 1.5 billion, you can just divide the two into each other and you'll find that that's kind of your rough X you'll get, at least. And I find that does it does seem to work if it is as good as or better than that project. So that's kind of a good, really simple, because I think you can go well over the top with all this. And I just think sometimes simplicity is the best. You know, you can research the hell out of it, but yeah, I just think stuff like that works well. And some of these low cap projects, they're where the gains are, aren't they? So one thing I want to look more into is ICOs. I spoke to Mike about it the other day a little bit, but I wouldn't mind kind of looking a bit more into them. But that's all new.
There's a high barrier of entry. It just seems so now. But like something like YFDI, they've done an airdrop if you stake and hold YFDI tokens. So it's like that's for the first project they're going to launch. So getting in early to something that will do ICOs is going to be like gold, man.
Yeah.
Because like now I think trust swap coins you need about 12 grand now just to like get allocation. I think if you were to buy a trust swap fresh, but PokerStart is fucking hard, man. I've applied to every single one, and I hold PokerStart coins. It's just I got whitelisted, and then I was like I was on it. I was refreshing at like 3 p.m. It got launched. I was refreshing, and I was just straight away like trying to buy the coin and just get sold out, man, in seconds. And I got whitelisted, which is hard enough to do. Like, yeah.
Well, that's it. Just build our pot up enough so that we're on all them lists.
Exactly.
That's it.
Come to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Eventually, you will have that. You know, these these high entry barriers. You should be able to have hopefully enough in your portfolio to go, I'll have that. So that's kind of the aim for me. Yeah. Once I've pulled out, I'd like to have enough to just be able to go, I can enter that easily. So, which should happen, hopefully. Touch wood, things keep going the way they're going. So
that's why I'm looking forward to the next bull run as well, because we'll know so much more, and we will know about these ICO coins that you've got to buy early, you know, and we can get in them like when they're dirt cheap, and then we'll be laughing, sipping margaritas, sounds wherever we are, Portugal, wherever we are.
Yeah, exactly. World tour by then.
Yeah, that's it. Markies, what's your like you got a top 3 altcoins, not as in like performance, but stuff you're excited for, kind of thing. If you had to pick now, or it's quite a hard question, I know.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, to be honest, I just think we're quite happy about all of my portfolio, really. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing particularly, and I think that's a good way to be. I don't really want to get emotionally attached to one project, but I think there's some exciting stuff. But for me, I genuinely think that the best is yet to come. Like that one thing hasn't really. I mean, obviously Bitcoin's Bitcoin and Ethereum's doing its thing, but that one thing hasn't come on my radar yet. Not that thing that I'm like, that's it. Right. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for. And that's what I'm building my war chest for, so that I can put a decent amount of money into that one that I just go, that's it, you know. But that's the thing that's going to change a certain space, like whether it's in advertising or DeFi, or I mean DeFi is kind of kicking on itself now, but I think there's a whole new like niche that hasn't even come about yet that I want to be positioned to just go, right, I'm putting that chunk in.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to be. Like Cheshire's saying, kind of well positioned for the next run. I think you'd be silly to lose all your bag now and not be in a position to be able to put a decent amount in to them next up and coming projects.
Yeah, man, nice. What about you, Chet? Got like a top, like if you was to like pick 3 now or 1 or something like that, yeah.
In the short term, I quite like Kusama because of the whole Polkadot parachain thing. They've got the first parachain auctions, and they're holding the first auctions, Kusama. So I'm holding that, and that's done it's done really well for me recently. But again, that's a short term. Long, like I say, YFDI is my fave. Honestly, I'm going to go so hard on that. So hard. I just think it's going to blow everything. I think DeFi is going to be the hottest ticket in this bull run, and I think that has got so much potential. I'm just looking forward to it. I can see it being in the billions of dollars of market cap by the end of this. So yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. I thought insurance was going to play a big part of this, but I'll hold a couple of insurance coins and they're not doing anything. So I don't know, but I'm just going to hold on to them, hope for the best.
I feel like there's almost sub niches within this, and there's a time for things. Like obviously NFTs has kicked off a bit now and stuff like that. What did we have before? I've started peer-to-peer lending and like lending stuff. So there's a new coin. I think it's launching on TrustSwap. Might be PokerStar. I can't remember. It's either Shift or Odds. I think it might be Shift. And you
I was
can
looking at
lend against NFTs.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's Shift. Yeah.
Shift, yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at that. Have you put in for that ICO or?
I put in for every single one. I tried to do the application for every single one on TrustSwap and PokerStar. Is that a TrustSwap one, isn't it?
Yeah, I've not heard of it on PokerStar.
Yeah, I think I'm in. I think I've been accepted because I've got 4,000 coins, TrustSwap coins. So I think I get automatic allocation. But
oh right.
Yeah, I think I'm in on that. I've done them all, mate. So it's like I keep forgetting.
Yeah, you need to give me a hand with that. Do you normally go through to the website to like register or something, or how's it work?
Yeah, in TrustSwap dashboards, I think you do Mask Wallet in a TrustSwap dashboard, and then you have to stake your TrustSwap coins.
Right.
You can do it like on the day or the day before, basically, but I just have them always staked. And then when TrustSwap allocation comes up, they'll let you know on Telegram's probably the best on the announcement.
Right, okay.
On the TrustSwap announcements, and then you just got to do it and be quick, basically. Well, do you know what? You don't have to be quick if you've got TrustSwap staked. You get an allocation. So, yeah, you got to be quick because some of them end in 24 hours to do it, and some end in like a few days. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, should we wrap it up there?
Let's wrap it up.
Happy days.
All right. Good speaking to you. We'll catch up soon.
Yeah, nice one. Appreciate it. We'll be in the studio next time.
Yeah, definitely. Look forward to it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right. Take care. See you later.
Nice one, boys.